Hello. Welcome. Welcome to Bare E-ssentials, the online direct to your living room, bedroom, kitchen, bathroom, rooftop garden, outside anywhere place version of our new writing night here at Encompass Productions. We may be apart, but today we focus on what brings us together. My name is Liam and I will be your host for this evening. Now, those of you that joined us for our initial foray into the online world of new writing nights, first of all, thank you for joining us. And secondly, we have worked very hard to ensure that the same demons, the technical demons that attacked us last time, do not happen this time. And to that end, everything you see this evening is going to be live. I'm live right now. They're going to be live in a minute. You're live wherever you are. So we are all live. We're all living top notch. But to that moment, we say, be kind. We can't rewind. And also, that's now going to be a motto for my life. You can't rewind. So let's just be kind to each other, shall we? If you have been to a Bare E-ssentials before, whether online or in person, thank you. And also what impeccable taste you have in new writing nights. But if you haven't, and this is your first one, then let me just kind of talk you through what we normally do. The premise of Bare E-ssentials is quite simple. We have writers from all around the world submitting scripts to us in the form of monologues, duologues, short scenes, extracts from longer pieces, sketches, and then we pair them with a fantastic director and a superb plethora of actors, and then give them absolutely nothing else. No budget, no set, no props, no costume, nothing. When we do the live shows, we all usually offer them a table and chairs. But we're not even doing that because we can't get those tables and chairs to their homes. So everything you find and you see today has been found and procured from inside our performers' homes. Why do we do this? Because we want to show theatre stripped back. We want to focus on the writing. We want to focus on the performances, and we want to show theatre at its most elemental. That's our main goal for all of this. So everything you see tonight was produced, directed remotely on laptops, photos, and with our bare hands. And yes, for those of you that saw last month's show, that was the same joke, Bare E-ssentials, bare hands, but I love it. So I'm going to keep doing it. So buckle in because you're going to hear that joke at least once a month. We encourage you to leave comments. I hear we've already had loads of comments in the YouTube, on the YouTube flow. So if you have any comments about the show, things you like and don't like, please do put them in there. I'm going to endeavour to look at the chat at some point throughout this evening and try and do some interaction. If I don't, it is because I tried clicking it and I lost my screen and I got nervous and I'd rather be back here to introduce the next piece. But if I do manage to get through it all, awesome, we'll have some interaction there. And of course, it wouldn't be an online version if we didn't ask people to like, subscribe and share. So please do all of those good things if you so wish. Next up, if you were kind enough to buy a ticket for this evening and pay what you wanted for the ticket, thank you so much. All of the money that we raise tonight is going to all the creatives to further their ability to do things like this, more shows, to keep you entertained. If you haven't yet, that's fine. And we are putting the show on for free. But if you want to say thank you in a small way, you can donate at paypal.me/Encompass Productions, which is over there and will be on the screen throughout and on our website. You know, like our shows in London are normally £10 to £15. So a few quid just chucked in as just a little gesture is going to go towards our creatives, and we would really, really appreciate it. In terms of the socials, we are Encompass Online for Twitter. We are Encompass on Facebook /Encompass Online. All of that stuff's going down on the ticker there. And on Instagram, we are Encompass_Productions. And on that note, if you are watching us right now on Instagram, we love you. And those filters are on point. Tell me what they're called. Some weird name, I assume. But if you want a higher definition version of the stream, please use the Facebook or the YouTube, because you get a better picture quality of this, all the performers, but mainly this. And I apologize in advance. It is warm and I have to mop my bold brow occasionally. Finally, a tiny reminder, some of the pieces today will have language that may cause offense to some, so consider yourself warned for that. So without further ado, let me introduce our first piece of this evening. Now, this was written in Florida, USA, sent to us, and we are performing it for you right now, performed by Kate Holmes and Ryan Brannan, and directed by Jonathan Woodhouse. This is Every 7 Minutes by Ken Preuss. Enjoy.
So, you reach into the atomic mass-based object generator. Select the designated catalytic manipulative. Enter the correct sequence into the randomized recipient generator. Then discard the DCM into the utilized thingamajig receptacle.
Seems simple enough.
Simple and straightforward. The screen tells you what to do, and you just repeat the process. Select, manipulate, enter, discard.
SMED.
Excuse me?
Select, manipulate, enter, discard. SMED, SMED. I just thought a mnemonic device might help me remember.
Whatever floats your boat.
So what's this all about anyway?
Well, this is the Every 7 Minutes room.
Right. I have no idea what that means.
Life is full of random occurrences. We control the stuff that happens every 7 minutes.
Oh, like what kind of stuff?
Well, whatever the screen says. Every 7 minutes, a double rainbow appears somewhere in the world.
What's the sequence?
R selects the random location, E executes the order, and the spreadsheet populates the confirmation.
So a double rainbow is now visible in Bella, Limpopo, South Africa.
That's what it says. I don't look or linger, I just move on to the next task. Someone is about to adopt a Dalmatian.
Random place?
Random person.
Dexter Wilson. But what if he doesn't want a dog?
He does now.
So there's no free choice.
The machine chose freely.
But if you're using a machine, why is the whole process not automated?
It'd be tedious if we were just pushing buttons all day. The props help break up the boredom. Thus, if we didn't have objects to manipulate, SMED, make no sense at all, would it?
But how do you know which objects to choose?
Oh, a little GIF appears here as a prompt, tells you what to pick and do. You should have seen the one for Every 7 Minutes, a woman receives an unsolicited dick pic.
I'd rather not.
Relax. They moved that to the Every 3 Minutes room.
So it's not all rainbows and puppies in here.
Hardly. I just made a sinkhole.
Will anyone be hurt?
Only if they're at this address. House will probably be totaled though.
Doesn't that make you sad?
Gets me paid.
Thirsty?
Somebody just drowned.
Do you know who it was?
I don't read the confirmation. It's easier that way.
But couldn't you be randomly affecting someone that you know?
Possible, I suppose, but there are 7.5 billion people on Earth. The odds are pretty slim. Oh, back when I first started, though, there was an Every 7 Minutes someone dies from a drug overdose hypodermic needle, which came up as the last task of the night. I accidentally caught the confirmation out the corner of my eye. Realized I'd zapped a beloved musical icon.
How do you ever recover from something like that?
No, he didn't.
No, I mean you. Didn't you feel horrible?
Of course. I paid 300 quid for concert tickets that were supposed to be the following night.
So the death did nothing to affect you?
Well, I did manage to sell the tickets to a grieving fan on eBay and make a tasty profit.
No, I don't think you're understanding what I'm saying. How do you do this kind of stuff and not get invested in what happens?
It's just a job.
Well, it's not the kind of job I signed up for.
Everybody gets things they didn't sign up for. This poor sap just got chlamydia.
Oh, I really don't think I can do this.
Of course you can. Just Focus on the process, not the ramifications. Develop a sort of rhythm. Every 7 minutes, a footballer develops a concussion. Ready? Every 7 minutes, someone turns vegan. Every 7 minutes, a worker suffers a heart attack on the job.
What's wrong?
Can't be. Son of a bitch!
What's wrong?
It was my name!
Oh, all right. I'm going to call for help.
No, you need to do the job.
No, it's more important.
There is nothing more important. My arm's feeling numb. I just need to catch my breath a minute. You need to take over for me.
Oh, no, I'm not prepared.
It's simple.
No, I'm not prepared mentally.
Oh, look. These things need to happen every 7 minutes. Stop wasting time and look at the screen. Every 7 minutes.
Someone stops the toe. Oh, that's not so bad.
Smed.
Oh, okay. Select, manipulate, enter, discard.
Oh, God, son of a bitch. Oh.
What did I do wrong?
Oh.
Oh, I forgot to hit random, didn't I?
It's 2 buttons, really not that complicated.
Well, your name was still here from the heart attack, so...
Oh, you gave me the stub toe.
All right, it could have been worse. The next one on here is a deadly lightning strike.
Make sure you hit random this time. Send it somewhere else.
Well, actually, I'm not sure I want to send it at all.
Oh.
Can't we just skip ahead and pick some more positive stuff?
You can read ahead, but they need to be executed in order. It's a delicate balance between good and bad, which keeps the universe...
Holy crap! God, there is some terrible shit on this list. Kidnappings, cancer, earthquakes.
Small earthquakes, 3.1, 3.9 on the Richter scale, minimal devastation.
But it's not minimal for those devastated.
Okay, there are some bad things on there, but it's just the way it is. It's distributed systematically, buffered out by some good, spaced out by time and location, so we're not overwhelmed all at once.
But it's not systematic, it's random.
It's what we're instructed to do, and right now you're creating a logjam that will need to be executed in rapid succession. The consequences and ramifications grow worse every minute we wait.
Well, we just have to wait then. The ramifications are powerless if they're kept locked up.
I guess you could be right. No! I'm feeling better now. I need to get back to work.
Stop! I have a deadly lightning strike and a drive-by shooting with your name on it.
2 fatalities in a row?
Well, you'd win the lottery in between, but you'd be in no position to enjoy it.
Why are you doing this?
No, why are you? Can't you see that this is wrong? Pushing buttons, toying with people's lives, having a negative, sometimes deadly effect.
It's my job.
Well, why don't you quit?
Because they just hire someone new. Hell, that's probably why you're here. You've got to be training up someone new, someone who'd be more comfortable.
Well, they made a serious error in the recruiting department.
Believe it or not, I used to be just like you. My plan was to toe the line, move up the hierarchy, change things from within, but then I got stuck in this room. I lost my way. It's just the way it is now. It's just a job.
It's not too late to change things.
I need to get back to work. You need to get out of here before they see what the delay is.
Aren't you playing God by pushing buttons?
Aren't you playing God by not pushing them?
Maybe so. But at least I was a merciful one. I'll leave you to your work.
Hello again. So that was Every 7 Minutes by Ken Preuss. Now, if you want to know a little bit more about tonight's performances and the performers, then you can download our digital program by going to our website, which is encompassproductions.co.uk. And also, because we're lovely and we love you all, we're going to put a download of it also in the link down below in the chat. We're going to move straight on to our second piece of the evening, and we have a cracking two-hander for you right now. Performed by Gabrielle McPherson and Robert Gallagher, and directed by Rachel Owens with a little help from myself. This is Spread by Robbie Knox. Enjoy.
Rest in peace.
It's too boring.
In loving memory.
Generic.
Gone but not forgotten.
Blur.
Oh, this is hard, you know. I've got it. Fell asleep.
Well, we can't write that, can we?
Why not?
Because she didn't fall asleep, did she?
Oh, yes.
She did the
All right,
opposite of falling
I
asleep.
know what happened.
She got hit by a train at an unmanned level crossing.
over it
Her
again.
fucking head came off.
Jesus Christ.
Flew 30 yards into the
Let's
next
go over
field.
this
Took
again.
them
I think we
4
should
hours
just
to
focus
find it.
on what we're
And a
trying to
goat
do here
ate part of
and
her
try-
cheek.
Excuse me?
A goat ate part of her cheek.
That didn't happen.
It did.
Didn't.
It did.
How do you know?
I had a smoke with the bloke from the morgue.
Surely goat's a vegetarian.
Well, this one wasn't.
All right, should we write that then? Hit by a train and a sheep ate her face.
It were a goat.
Stop it. He'll be back in a minute.
Oh, God. Why do we have to do this?
Because we're her only family. We're her only family. Mum would like that we're doing it anyway. When was the last time you saw Moira?
Kate and I popped in for an hour last summer on our way down to Rye.
That's surprisingly thoughtful.
Kate made me do it. I wanted to take the motorway.
God, you sound just like Dad. Claudine, we'll use 18% more petrol if we take the lanes.
The scenic route holds no attraction to a man with his eyes firmly on the road.
He used to drive her mad. Who did this for her?
She must have done it herself. She knew it were coming.
Yeah, I guess. It's funny, you know, I don't remember much about that time.
Well, that's fair enough. It was traumatic.
I just remember sitting in the crematorium. I don't remember how we got there or who organised it or what we did afterwards. Apart from you, Dan and Izzy, I don't remember who was there. Did we buy flowers? Did we get a lift or did we get one of them funeral cars or did we get dropped off? I just remember sitting there completely existing in my head, in my brain, just out of my body, just floating, just floating.
It was a tough time for us all. We had just become orphans.
What?
We had just become orphans.
We aren't orphans.
Both our parents are dead.
I was 25.
So,
Orphans are children.
orphans are people with dead parents. We have dead parents. We're orphans.
Hang on. So anyone with dead parents is an orphan in your book.
It's not my book, it's a fact.
So Moira in there with a sheep-eaten face is an 87-year-old orphan.
It were a goat, but yes.
So if she wanted to, she could have turned up to an orphanage and they'd have had to put her in a bunk above Oliver Twist.
If that were a witch.
You're an idiot.
What about something from the Bible?
What?
A headstone?
Was she religious?
Well, she's getting buried in a churchyard. They don't let you in if you don't go to church.
I know, but going to church don't make you religious. It's like a social thing for all people, isn't it? Like they go there to catch up with friends, like their version of Instagram.
Yeah. I don't remember her talking about God.
Me neither. What do you remember?
Oh, bread and butter.
Bread and butter.
Yeah, we'd go and stay, and you and Mum and Dad would go and see that fucking horse you're obsessed with.
Don't you dare say anything about marshmallow.
And she'd make me a big plate of bread and butter, and she'd lift me onto the counter so I could see the cricket on the green, and I'd sit there for ages and just munch my way through it, and she'd tell me all about her Sid and how he held the record for the most wickets taken over 15 years, and how when he finally retired, they gave him a guard of honour as he left the pitch, and how popular he was at the club. And I'd make up names for the cricketers, like Giles Batsalot or Thomas Ballington. And yeah, she'd laugh and she'd laugh and she'd laugh. And she'd go like, who's that? What's his name over there? And I'd say, Trousery Stump or something like that. Yeah, she'd howl with laughter. Yeah, that was the best bread and butter I've ever eaten. I've never been able to make bread and butter like it. Well, I guess now I'll never know what her secret ingredient was.
Butter.
What?
Her secret ingredient was butter.
What?
You have to use butter if you're making bread and butter.
I use butter.
You don't. You use Flora.
Flora is butter.
Flora is a seed oil-based blended spread.
Flora Light.
Seed oil-based blended spread.
Flora Buttery.
A seed oil-based blended spread.
Right. So to make good bread and butter, I need to use bread
and actual butter.
Actual butter.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Maybe that's it. We'll always miss her bread and butter.
No, we can't write that.
Why not?
Because she lived to be 87. That can't be the pinnacle of her life. She can't have been born and grown up and survived the Blitz and lived and loved and whatever else she did, and the greatest achievement that she has, the thing that lives on long after she's dead, be bread and butter.
But you'll always remember for it, and so will I.
No, come on, we need to get this done.
I'm being serious.
Cassie.
It's perfect.
It's not. It's a snack. It doesn't matter.
It's not about the bread and butter. It's about what it represents. She made an impression on this earth, and her life and her actions live on.
No, they don't. She made some food that were better than the food that Mum made. I was an easy to impress child. It doesn't matter.
It does, doesn't it? It's all that matters. That someone, anyone, remembers you for something. That you made a difference to another human being. That you didn't just vanish without a trace, like you were never there. All right, for Churchill, it might have been winning a war, or for Fleming, discovering penicillin. But maybe for Moira, it was taking the time to sit with us and ask us about our life, about like school and our interests, and to send us a postcard from Devon every May and buy us a £5 book token for Christmas. Yeah. She gave us her undivided attention in a time when all the other adults in our life were too busy arguing or working or pretending they were listening, but really reading the sports section of the Daily Telegraph. And fine, it might not have defeated the Nazis or saved loads of lives, but it mattered to us. And I see it with you when you're with Izzy. I see her face light up because she knows that time that you two were together, her uncle doesn't care about anyone but her and shouldn't have to compete to be heard. She's listened to. And I see the love and security she gets from that. And now she's a more confident little girl on the way home. And now she's slightly chattier than when she was on the way there. And I think that you get that from Moira. From her being enraptured with you and you sitting on the side talking about Trousery Stump. And maybe Izzy will do the same thing in 55 years' time when she's got a great niece or a great nephew. She'll remember how you made her feel. And she'll put down a phone and close a laptop or whatever else they have then. And she'll pick them up and she'll give them her all. And then maybe that child will do the same thing when they're 60 and it'll pass down through the generations and Moira will matter. And she'll have changed the world in a subtle but no less important way. And maybe it's important to remember, actually, that the smallest things can change the world for the better. And for Moira, that can be summed up in 7 words. We'll always miss her bread and butter.
Nah, it's shit.
Ah!
And we're back. And that was Spread by Robbie Knox. A lot of love in the chat. We love Robbie Knox as well, and really love that piece. Now, normally at this time of the evening, I would be encouraging you to have a break, go to the bar and buy a drink or 10, because normally we have a minimum bar spend that we have to adhere to. But the joys of the internet means that you can get sufficiently sozzled as we go. You can take your smoke breaks, take the laptop outside for a little bit, enjoy the sun, come back in. You do whatever you want. This is up to you. As long as you keep watching, we're happy. So we're going to keep rolling on. And this brings us to our third piece of the evening. Now, this piece was originally submitted to us under a pseudonym because it was actually submitted by a member of our own team. We have about, I'd say, between 70 to 100 people who are kind of in the Encompass family. And we always want to hear from them. But we always ask if they're going to submit to Bare E-ssentials, because we receive so many scripts. We don't want to show any bias to any of our team. So submit under a pseudonym. They did. We picked the piece, we got it ready for the Bare E-ssentials, and you can imagine my delight when I emailed the person to tell them they were in, and it turned out to be a friend of mine, Mr. Robert Wallis. This is Rob right here. Now, these mugs aren't readily available everywhere, but if you love it, which we know you will, you can get one. I'm sure we'll make it available. We'll try and make all our money through specific Rob Wallis-based merchandise. But without further ado, this is our next piece of the evening, performed by Liz McMullen and Richard Coffey and directed by Rachel Owens. Let me introduce to you Spud by Robert Wallis. Enjoy.
Wow, it's hot in here.
Holy crap, a talking potato! Sorry, I overreacted. It's been a strange start to life.
That's okay.
What's your name?
I'm not sure. The bag I came in said Maris Piper. I can see it on the side over there. How do you know we're potatoes?
Sorry?
Well, it's the first thing you said.
I don't know, really. Instinct? Should we try calling out to them?
Who?
The other Maris Pipers. Hey!
Oi, potatoes! Yeah, you lot in the bag.
Bunch of stupid spuds.
I'm not entirely sure they're sentient.
What?
Well, just look at them. They're just lying there. There's a hole in the bag, and they're not even trying to get out.
It's not exactly the great escape, even by root vegetable standards.
You're pretty down on us potatoes, to say you've only been around a minute.
Well, I'm lacking in positive role models. Don't worry. I'm sure I'll be an upstanding member of the community soon. Or I would be if I had any legs.
Where are we anyway?
I don't know, but you're right. It's sweltering in here.
Yeah.
I think I'm beginning to crisp.
Mine sides feel all fluffy.
We better get out of here before we roast or something.
I can't move.
Nope, nor me.
Guess that comes from not having any limbs.
What do we have?
Well, we've got these nice shiny foil clothes.
Nice, yeah, it's good.
Hey, hey!
Can he see us?
No, oh yes, I think he can. He's a big bugger.
Well, it's all relative, really. He's coming towards us. He's on the other side of the transparent wall.
The glass!
He's turning away. He's not letting us out.
Hey, hey, come back! No! Oh, did you see that?
He licked his lips.
He looks hungry.
Oh no! Are you thinking what I'm thinking? He's gonna fucking eat us!
Ah! It's like that fairy tale.
Which one?
Any of them.
What? How do you know about fairy tales? How do I know about fairy tales?
I don't know. It's like we were created with all this knowledge, with all this stuff. I think we were created to die.
That bag out there, it says suitable for baking.
No!
What kind of being would grant us consciousness, self-awareness, knowledge, only to wrench it from us? What kind of monster?
It's not fair. It's one big joke. Do I even have a soul?
No, I refuse no. If I'm gonna die, I intend to go out fighting. Will you stand with me, sibling? We feud. We happy few. We band of Maris Pipers.
I think someone somewhere is dreaming or on drugs, and we're that.
It's monstrous. If you prick us, do we not bleed?
I don't think so. I've got 3 holes in me.
Well, if you wrong us, shall we not revenge?
I can see a knob of butter on the side. I think he's going to serve us with it.
Rage, rage against the dying of the light. Do not go gentle.
He's opening a tin. It says beans. Now he's grating something.
I would slap you, but I don't have any arms.
Whatever happened to dying with dignity?
Well, dying with dignity doesn't usually entail grated cheddar and sour cream. Fuck that. This is tubicide.
So that's what he's got in the little pot.
It's all one big joke, isn't it?
Maybe we did something bad in another life. Oh, help, he's coming back. Help, help, God, please.
Oh, there is no God. How can there be? What kind of God would allow this?
Hold me.
I can't.
I love you.
Yes. Well, that was Spud by Robert Wallis, and my lovely audience, my beautiful people that I've come to know, even though I haven't seen any of you. This is the final piece of the evening. I can hear the collective ahs going out across the internet, all hundreds of you crying out. But I tell you what, we have left a doozy for the last one. This piece was originally performed at a Bare E-ssentials back in 2016, if any of you can even remember 2016. And we are happy to have the original performer back again to bring it to life for you tonight. This piece was written in Melbourne, Australia, sent to us via the powers of the internet, performed by Rachel Knott and directed by myself. This is Like a House on Fire by Keith Gow. Enjoy.
I set fire to a brothel once. It was a weekday morning. It wasn't open. The last hooker left at 7. I watched as she jumped into her boyfriend's car, stuffing an egg and bacon sandwich into her mouth. Get rid of the taste of last night's work. And then I waited till I saw the madam, a middle-aged lesbian as far as I could tell, hoist herself into her van and trundle off down the road before I set to work lighting the fire. It was in the middle of an industrial estate, conveniently hidden for those who wanted to go at night without being seen, and conveniently placed for those factory workers who wanted to get lunchtime massage or hand relief, or a whack off at knockoff. Now, I know what you're thinking. She wanted to teach those whores a lesson, wanted to rob those nasty Johns of a place to have their debauched ways in between their smoke breaks and scarfing down a sandwich their wives had sent them off to work with. Oh yeah, and now you're thinking, I think that women are just wives or hookers, either making sandwiches or lying back and counting the cash on the bedside table. Well, fuck you! You don't know me. You don't know how I was brought up or what brought me here. You don't know my compulsions, my desires, my fears, my hatred. You aren't me, so don't fucking judge me. And now you're thinking, what an arsehole, judging us for judging her. Yeah, well, you know what? It's a vicious circle, so just watch yourselves. Sorry. I've set fire to a lot of things. Desks and cars, a rat doused with petrol. I used to take pride that I'd only ever set fire to one of each thing. I once took the TV from my parents' bedroom, blew it up in a car park. That was the last TV I did. One chair, one tree, one letterbox. But I'd never done a house before. Well, a brothel is a bit like a house. A house of ill repute, they used to call them. Well, call them what you will. Cat house, whorehouse, bordello, shag factory. I wanted to burn it down because it looked like the house that I grew up in. I'm kidding. I grew up in some terraced house in Leighton. This place was double-fronted brick veneer. Would have looked good in a lovely leafy suburb. I mean, if the metal spike fence had been replaced by a white picket one, it wouldn't have looked out of place in South Kensington or Guildford. But it wasn't. It was in the middle of a factory-filled wasteland on the outskirts of Aldershot. Classy. Now, I don't want to rob anyone of their dreams or their memories. The desk I burnt was mine. The car I burnt was abandoned in a field. The rat was a neighbour's pet, but I didn't fucking know that until I'd seen the pet rat missing signs up and down a lamppost on Lygon Street. I avoided my gaze. I didn't want to see its little rat face and its little beady eyes. And I didn't want to know what some kids had called their pet vermin. Might have felt bad for little Ratty McRattison. Go on, judge me. I feel bad now, of course. Well, back then, I was a shit of a kid. High on hormones, low on dope. And that shit had got me through some of the worst patches, I can tell you. And I know, I'm not supposed to replace one addiction with another, but when you're a kid with a flair for flare-ups, you don't know, or you don't care. Some kids got off on yelling at their parents. I wanted to watch things burn. A brothel seemed like the perfect place when I decided that bigger was better. I used to have this feeling that if I set fire to lots of little things, like 10 things in a night, would satisfy me, but after a while that wasn't enough. So I decided to go bigger. I decided on a house. And I'd driven past it before, I'd scoped it out without even realising. My brain had seen the potential. House, unoccupied mornings, no one's home. Industrial estate, plenty of places to watch from. Easy getaway, less guilt. Well, because as far as I can tell, hookers don't have dreams. All right, that's me being judgy. And of course, if I had been able to burn down the brothel, then they would have been out of a job or relocate to the next brothel along. And that would have sucked for them. And I don't want to see anyone out of a job, not in this market, especially not prostitutes. They're having a hard enough time as it is. Well, think about it. Hookers were, once upon a time, pretty much the only place where you could get pussy guaranteed. Unless you were willing to get married. Take it by force. You saved up your money. You went to a bordello. You claimed your prize. Old West madams. Hookers with hearts of gold. A noble fucking profession. Nowadays, prostitutes have to compete with women ready to give it up after a few drinks. Friends with benefits, fuck buddies. Wives bored with their husband's bedroom antics. I mean, what is a whore to do? Well, maybe that was playing on my mind when I half-heartedly spread the accelerant around the back door, flicked a match at it, before I jumped a fence to find a rooftop to watch my handiwork and jill off. Time was, I would have made sure that the flames would have taken hold, and that once they got big enough, that they were definitely going to finish the job. You see, it's not just about watching things burn. It's about ignition. It's about combustion. It's about the blaze and the flame. But it's also about the smouldering ruin, blackened ash, the complete destruction. Just setting a fire, well, that's foreplay without the play. Watching something burn and then watching the fire brigade turn up to put it out, well, that's coitus interruptus. So maybe I'm losing my touch. Or maybe I picked the wrong target. Maybe I'm destined only to burn things no bigger than a car. Maybe a brothel was out of my league. Or maybe I need to find a fully built house that doesn't have anyone living in it in an estate that's barely populated, so that it has time to burn itself out before the sirens come. Thinking about it, it was always gonna arouse suspicion pretty quick. I mean, if men think with their dicks, then they're gonna get pretty annoyed when the local all-you-can-eat pussy hole starts smoking. I could see the flames licking at the back door and climbing up into the eaves. Just as the walls had started to blacken with oxidization, I could hear the long-distance sirens getting nearer. And sometimes the sound of sirens gets me off, you know? I know it shouldn't, because, you know, the fire's the thing, right? But just getting a reaction feels like a job well done. It used to be, I'd like the feeling of the heat pricking at my skin. And then it became about watching the embrace, whatever it was devouring. And I'd hide away and watch, hand in my pants, back arched, eyelids flickering, goosebumps where the heat would play on my skin. This time, once the firemen had turned up, hoses out, dousing the flames, I just had to hide on that rooftop, hope no one could see me, and just peer over the brickwork. Just try to imagine the destruction that might have been. What my handiwork might have led to. It's been 179 days since I lit a flame. Even my oven and stovetops at home are electric. I mean, there's no place for fire in my life at all. And maybe the drugs I'm on are rounding my sharp edges, but I don't wonder if that's not a bad thing, because sharp edges cause sparks, and that shit always got me in trouble. The last thing I set fire to was a book. Calm down, calm down. I'm not a Nazi. It was Twilight. No great loss. And I was only doing it to calm down my roommate in rehab. And she was in for self-harm. And Jesus, if cutting yourself is self-harm, then so is reading Stephanie fucking Meyer. It had nearly been a fire-free year up until that point, but one day at a time. My name is Penny, and I'm a pyromaniac. Now you can judge me.
And that was Like a House on Fire by Keith Gow. Now, that was our last piece of the evening. I just want to say thank you to all of you who are watching. Quick reminder that all the creatives involved tonight have given up their time to entertain you and give you this hour of content. So if you do want to say thank you, even in a small way, any kind of donation to paypal.me/Encompass Productions, all of that goes to our creatives and helps us to keep doing these nights. And if you enjoyed this evening, spread the word about Bare E-ssentials, about Encompass Productions. And on that note, we are trying to be even more organized than usual, which does mean that we have a big announcement already. And that is that we have our next Bare E-ssentials already in the books. So if on the 29th of July, that's a Wednesday the 29th of July, we are having another Bare E-ssentials. So 8 o'clock back here. We hope you can join us for that as well. We're really excited. We're already receiving script submissions. If you have anything you want to submit, please do. That's our think tank at encompassproductions.com.uk. Also, all the information is on the website, and you can see all of that stuff there. Thank you so much. Stay safe. Continue to support the arts. And I said it last time, I'll say it again. The arts are consistently the best way of making our current situation bearable. Everyone that's been doing something to keep you entertained and make you kind of not think about something for an hour at a time is special. And let's keep supporting those arts so we can keep doing those things. This has been Bare E-ssentials. We have been Encompass Productions. And I just want to say thank you to everyone who's made this evening possible. So a big round of applause. I'm sure you're all clapping around the internet right now, but a thank you to our writers, to our performers, to our directors, to John, who is our artistic director and also making sure all the screens are doing exactly what they're supposed to be doing, to Rachel, our associate director, and to everyone else who's been involved and supported us thus far. Last time I decided to sign off like an awkward Zoom call with someone who doesn't know quite where the buttons are. But I've decided to do something that's different this time. So this evening I am going to be signing off. I'm going to keep doing this until John cuts me off, as if I am the genie saying goodbye to Aladdin as he steps off the magic carpet about, I don't know, halfway through the movie. So without further ado, bye-bye now. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Thank you. Bye-bye.